Rescue teams are working through the night in Thailand to save 12 boys and their coach trapped inside a cave. Crews have located the group alive, but now they are facing another challenge, the rescue mission. Officials have been strategizing ways to get all 13 to safety. The team has been stuck deep within the flooded cave complex for 10 days, and now with more monsoon rains in the forecast, the clock is ticking for rescuers to hatch a plan. The search teams will have to maneuver through this cave complex. The group was discovered in between the entrance and the main cave. Right now, rescuers are working to the south of where the boys are currently trapped, roughly 2 kilometers inside the cave complex. Jonathan Miller is a reporter with CNN. He is at the command center near the cave complex in northern Thailand, where the boys and their coach are trapped. So, Jonathan, what are some of the options rescue workers are considering right now?
Well, they're pretty desperate options, Andrew. I mean, there's not very many on the table. I think the most prominent one that's being discussed, and they really want to try this one out, is extracting the boys through the tunnels that they came into the cave. The trouble is that these tunnels are submerged, and there's a whole series of different chambers in this cave system linked by these intricate little passageways and tunnels. Some of them go up, some of them go down, they go sideways, and there are angular bits and sharp bends. So it's not an easy process, particularly when you consider that a lot of them are submerged under zero visibility, muddy, coffee-colored water. Now, whether they will attempt this is not clear, but I know that that is what they want to try. The trouble is that these boys were stuck down in this cave for 9 days without any food at all. And although they appear to be in reasonable shape, and the doctors have checked them over today, they will be also in a pretty weakened state. So if they're going to attempt something like that, they've got to let the boys rest up and get a bit of food in them. Problem is, the rain's coming. And there's more rain scheduled for tomorrow. They've had this little window of a few dryish days up here. I mean, I say dryish, but I'm standing in the command and control center here with 4 inches of liquid orange mud around me. Now, this rain is going to get worse and worse and worse as the months go by. 4 months of monsoon. And if they don't get them out now, they could just be stuck in the cave for those 4 months. They will be safe. They'll find a little elevated platform to put them on, they'll feed them, they'll make sure they've got the medical attention and company. But it will be until, probably the end of October before these torrential rains finally stop. And when it rains here, oh my goodness, it's torrential, because it'll flood out that cave system. So, there will be no hope really of getting out if they don't get them out very soon.
Yeah, and that's an awfully long time to be stuck in that cave. But can you tell us, Jonathan, a little bit more about, you mentioned that the boys are in relatively good shape physically. What about mentally and physically overall? How are they doing?
Well, you saw these amazing pictures yesterday of the first divers going into the cavern in which the boys had been stuck for that 9-day period. And, they were incredibly courteous. They were smiling. They said, we're hungry, we want to eat. But, they seem to be okay. Now, on the physical front, that's measurable. I don't know what sort of psychological damage being stuck in a pitch black cavern for 9 days, not knowing whether you're even going to be rescued, or even if anybody knows you're down there, what damage that might have done to them. But it seems that they're okay. Trouble is that we're not hearing very much about that. I think one of the key things that they're trying to do at the moment is to establish a landline, a telephone comms line down into the cave, so the mums and dads who are staying up here just behind me, in fact, will be able to talk to their sons. I think then we'll be able to get a sense of just what is happening for them and how scared they might be, because it must be a pretty miserable experience they've been through.
Indeed. All right, Jonathan, thank you. That is CNN's Jonathan Miller in northern Thailand.